Back now, after seeing an improvement in the last few days, at least over the weekend, Delhi's air quality index is back in the severe category due to unfavorable weather conditions. Experts have pointed it to a significant drop in wind speeds as the primary cause of the sudden spike in pollution. The Central Air Quality Panel for Delhi-NCR has, as you know, imposed stage 4 of the Grap-IV plan in the national capital. Now, this includes a ban on all construction activities and on the entry of polluting trucks carrying non-essential goods into Delhi, as well as mandatory shifting of school classes, except those in board classes of 10 and 12, to the hybrid mode. In Ghaziabad, school timings have been changed due to rising pollution, whereas online classes will be conducted for students from nursery to class 5. Meanwhile, Gurgaon's Deputy Commissioner has advised all private institutions and corporate offices in the city to implement a 50% work from home policy. Let me go across to my guests who are joining me at this point. We have been joined by Dr. Mohan P. George, who is consultant at CSE, and I'm also being joined by Mahesh Palawat, who is the VP of Meteorology and Climate Change at SkyMet. Thank you both for joining me at this point. Let me first start off with you, Dr. Mohan George. The basic question that's coming to everyone's minds at this point, why is the air quality bad in Delhi once again, Dr. George? We have been used to, for the past 8 years now, to go through that period in mid-November where the air quality dips suddenly. There have been a lot of reasons which have been initially touted to be the cause for that smog in November, whether it be crackers during Diwali season, whether it be stubble burning, which starts from October in adjoining states. But neither of them are a factor right now. So why are we still seeing air quality levels hovering around the 400 mark in the national capital region?
Actually, these two episodes is totally different. First one, which is you described as 15th October to 15th November, which we generally say is due to the parali burning and due to the crackers and that type of other issues. But when we see this period, this December, second half of the December, actually this time temperature goes down. At the same time, the wind speed is very low. These meteorological parameters actually here works and we get these severe conditions. Actually, what is happening, whatsoever is emitted in the Delhi and nearby area, it is not getting dispersed. Dispersion is very low because wind speed is very low, temperature is very less, and at the same time, the mixing height is low. So the total volume where this pollutant can be dispersed or in very layman term, it get diluted, it's not there, it's less. So at this period, this peak comes. And we have to concentrate some other things also. Like if you see the decision supporting system of the IITM at this moment, they are showing about 25% contribution in the PM 2.5 from the other sources. What is this other sources? That's actually formation of the secondary particulate that happens due to the some VOCs and of course some gases SO2 and NO2 which create ultra fine particulate which give the hazy condition, and of course with that their particulate number goes up and your AQI is very low.
Okay. All right. So you were saying that the factors here are a lot different, even though the result might be the same. Mahesh Palawat, so the point is that this is still a new phenomenon in Delhi, even newer than the smog, which became an annual phenomenon from 2016 onwards. During the end of December, Delhi used to predominantly have the issue of fog, which used to happen often during end of December in January months, which used to impact for flight operations at this point. Now we are seeing, is it because that the level of industrial and local pollution caused by factors within Delhi have reached points where a slight dip in temperatures and the usual dip in temperatures during this time of the year itself are creating smog and not fog? Is this the disturbing phenomenon that we now have to get used to in Delhi, not just the November smog created due to parali or crackers or other factors?
See, in the month of December, usually when temperature dip and humidity is high in the wake of approaching western disturbances, then ground cooling is there, and formation of fog and shallow fog or mist haze takes place. And the smoke particle, dust particle, all the pollutants get trapped with the, or you can say, get mixed with the water vapor of fog, leading to formation of smog. But we have seen smog formation in the month of November, and during first half of December, we have seen that moderate winds, moderate intensity winds continued throughout the first half of December, leading to disbursement of pollutants. That's why the air quality index was in the moderate category. But since last few years, we have seen the intensity and frequency of western disturbances are very low. So there is no moisture in the air, which may lead to the formation of fog. In the absence of moisture, fog formation is not taking place. That's why we have seen the cleaner air during this December, first half of December 2024. So this is not a new phenomena, but it all depends upon the weather factor. If the western disturbances are frequent and more intense, they will be capable of dumping heavy snowfall over western Himalayas and widespread scattered rain over northern plains, which subsequently increase the moisture level in the atmosphere. And increased moisture, low winds, low temperature leads to formation of fog. But winds were strong, but now since last 2 days, we have seen an approaching western disturbance, which has induced a cyclonic circulation over central Pakistan and parts of Punjab. And wind speed has slowed down.
Okay.
Wind direction has changed from westerly to easterly. Moisture has increased. So there is shallow fog, and the disbursement of pollutants is not taking place in the absence of strong wind. That's why this type of severe category of AQI index is seen over the Delhi-NCR. Yeah.
So, Mr. Palawat, then let me ask you then, for how many days do we expect the current double trouble of cold temperatures and also smoggy conditions to persist? And is this now going to be the new normal in Delhi, that it won't be just in November, throughout the winters, whenever there is the western disturbance, as you pointed out, leading to lack of a depth in wind speeds and temperatures, we will have to deal with corresponding spikes in AQI crossing about the severe mark?
Yes, mostly weather is responsible for this weather phenomena. Like whenever there is strong wind, the gap between two western disturbances, the normal pattern of northwesterly winds resume and leading to disbursement of pollutants. But whenever any western disturbance approaches, it usually induces a low cyclonic circulation over northern plains, leading to slowing down of winds and trapping of pollutants. So this particular western disturbance will continue for another 2 days, but after that, there may be slight increase in wind speed, leading to some relief from ongoing severe pollution levels. But again, fresh western disturbance will approach. So we can say for at least next 4 to 5 days, the air quality index will remain in very poor to severe category. Thereafter, there is a gap between the western disturbances. Normal wind pattern of northwesterly winds will resume, and wind speed, when it will reach 10 to 15 kilometer per hour, and it persists for at least 2 days, then the pollution level will start decreasing and we will have a sigh of relief.
So that brings me to my most disturbing question, Dr. George. Then, Dr. Mohan George, have we then got our approach towards cleaning up Delhi's air completely wrong? Because what this proves is that the pollution emitted within Delhi is so bad that any western disturbance or any normal climatic movement, such as decrease of wind speeds and lack of temperatures, is enough to make Delhi a gas chamber. So this entire cacophony of noises that we hear about stubble burning, about crackers and other phenomenon, they might be off the mark. Are we still, after so many years of this being an annual phenomenon in Delhi, are we still very clueless as to what exactly is causing Delhi's pollution to reach such alarming levels every time, and therefore we are unable to fix it?
No, I want to differ here. Actually, if you see, Delhi is the most studied city. We have 4 or 5 source apportionment in last 1 decade. So we have the data, we know the sources. But somewhere we are failing to implement these things. We know the source, where from the things are coming. But in the Parali season, forget about that period now. We are in December when it is everywhere this pollution dispersion is controlled by the meteorological parameters, and you are in the geographical disadvantaged location. So what we have to do? We have to do this. Our own contribution must be reduced. We must concentrate on the biomass burning, local biomass burning, road dust, vehicular emission. Vehicular emission today also about 14%. We have to give the cleaner road, we have to give the cleaner fleet. And of course, industry, whatsoever little is contributing. And of course, 60% is coming out from the neighboring cities. So no one to blame, because if you are in the downwind, it will come. And of course, you are also contributing to someone else. So it's the natural meteorological phenomena. So you have to control your own sources. So this condition will be relatively better. And if you say what we
Dr.
did in
Mohan
10,
George,
12
and
years
also,
or 20 years, it is not, no, it is good thing. Work is done. We have the data, we know the problems. Now we have to...
All right. Well, I mean, if you have the data, that's good news indeed. But again, it comes down to whether there is intent, especially politically. The reason I insisted that we have an apolitical panel is because too often it gets down under finger pointing and blame game about what adjoining states are doing. But this is a test case as to how badly prepared we are in Delhi, at least in correcting problems, even though, as you've pointed out, Dr. George, Delhi is one of the most studied cities in the world. There's enough data, there's enough empirical observations available in terms of what happens in Delhi for the past, this is the 9th year that we have been dealing with this problem, but yet we are as clueless as ever in terms of actually making any difference on the ground. Mahesh Parawat and Dr. George, thank you so much for joining us on this short but very important debate. Yes, quickly, sir, because I just need to move on. We have some news coming in at this point.
Actually, we have to work on the airshed basis. If we want to correct this thing in the 1,500 square kilometer area of Delhi, it's not possible. We have to plan, we have to coordinate with the area, airshed base, and then only we get some result. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. And let's now move on to, of course, while this is happening in Delhi, of course, the powers that be in the national capital are busy in election mode.